Here's a Beyond the Pitch podcast quick hit from the WVSA Digital Network.
Yeah, I feel like I say this every podcast that I'm on here about everything that we talk about, but relationships matter. They do. You have to. One of the things that's contributing to a sense of loneliness is that our youth are feeling like they are alone and like they don't have anybody. For a lot of athletes, sport is an escape. Part of the reason why they pull themselves into it and they're so good at it and it's so motivating, at least in the early years, is because it provides fun, but also it could be an escape from something really big or really scary, whether that's academic difficulties, trouble in the home, issues making friends. I mean, any number of things. So if as coaches and teammates, we aren't fostering and nurturing those relationships, then we're tearing apart some of those adaptive coping mechanisms that brought kids into sport in the first place. So we really have to pay attention. Besides the fact, how are you supposed to know if there's a personality change or a behavior change or something going on with your athlete if you don't know what typical looks like? If you haven't created that relationship, you can't know when they're off. So you can't identify the warning signs. So first and foremost is build the relationships. Second, and people don't like to hear this, but go to trainings. There are trainings for coaches. There are resources for parents. There are, even if your kid has never expressed a suicidal thought to you or to any of your friends that you can find, read about it, learn about it, notice about it. It may not even be your kid that you're going to end up helping, but maybe it's your kid's best friend who's always staying at your house, always eating there, never wants to go home. All of those kinds of things. You can be an amazing resource for them. So do the trainings, read the research, get yourself familiar with the things that you can do. And then do not perpetuate the stigma by being afraid to talk about it. And you can be proactive in that. We're coming out of a pandemic. Hey, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. We know with adolescent suicides, it very often happens spring and early summer months. Just seasonally, we tend to see that trend. Okay, it's coming to the end of the school year. You got finals coming up. You're going to spend a lot more time without your friends and maybe more time with your family. All of those things can be really, really stressful and overwhelming. Have you ever thought about hurting yourself? Have you ever thought about killing yourself? It sounds like such a weird conversation to have, but when we don't have that, we perpetuate the stigma that we're not allowed to talk about it. And then those who think about it think that they're alone and that something is wrong with them. And we don't want to do that. So we want to have those open conversations. I talk with my 5-year or my 8-year-old about it. And I have started talking about it with my 5-year-old. It seems like it's too early, but we're seeing more and more suicides with younger and younger kids. We have got to stop perpetuating the stigma and start talking about it, making sure that they know what resources are, making sure we know what resources are. So when we're caught off guard in that conversation that we didn't expect to happen, now we can say, hey, there's this hotline. It's 1-800-273-TALK. I would love to sit here with you if that would make you feel comfortable, or I can give you some time, but I would really love if you would call and talk to them because I care about you and you matter to me. And I really want to make sure that you're okay. And let's just take a step and we'll see what happens. And so being able to be informed about those things, I think, are some of the major things that we can really be doing.